Thank you. I appreciate you. How you guys doing? Ready to rock and roll? Ready for a headache? I'm just saying. All right, you guys. So let me introduce my crew first. I have Mike Hickman in the back. He's head of operations. Today he's doing some filming. So if you look at the camera, smile, wink, wave. And I have Patrick Carr here. Is he in here? I think he's outside. He's out there at the table, and he's over our sales division. So I appreciate you guys taking time to be with me today. We're going to talk a little bit about some technology and lead gen. Sound okay? Is it a topic that makes you happy? Frustrated?
Sure.
That's fair. I'll take it. So before we get started, grab your cell phones. So I'm going to encourage you. You guys don't have tables, so snap pictures of the screen. There'll be things you want to take pictures of, and I don't care about phones being out. I have a book. You guys can download it, and it's really easy to download. If you have your phone, grab your phone, and you send a text message to 44222. That's the number you put in there. And then in the text message thread, you type in GPN dealer, and you guys can put in your email address, and it'll automatically send you the ultimate guide to HVAC marketing. Because we are going to try and cram a lot of information into a really short window. This could take 12 days. We're going to try and put it into an hour. You good? Yeah? Anybody need that up still? Okay. Has the industry and the way people communicate changed? How? This is interactive, by the way. You can't sit here and just listen. It doesn't work that way. I'll come sit right next to you. Okay? Has it changed? Yeah? How? How people communicate?
Technology.
They what?
Technology.
Technology. Fair. What about technology? Instant, right? There's no more proprietary information. People can find anything they want instantaneously. Absolutely agree. What else has changed? What about influencers online or with technology for your prospects? What are some of the new influencers? What helps them make up their mind? What is it? Reviews. Perfect. Social. Perfect. They want authentic relationships with the people they do business with and the companies they do business with. They want people, real people. They care more about what other people think about you than what you say about yourself now. Would you agree? And they have the ability to see that information. 4 years ago, I would stand on stage and I would tell everybody, we have things that are changing. Right now, we need to be prepared for Mobilegeddon, which Google came out with a requirement. It came out initially and it made recommendations, and so forth. And finally it said, this is your warning. And finally it said, this is the deadline. All websites must be coded with mobile responsive coding structure. Not a mobile website, not a new version of your website that works on mobile phones, but the day and age of having that website that showed up and it's a tiny little website you got to squish to make it open. You remember those? Do you still see them once in a while when you're searching? If anybody has one, we'll leave that alone. That doesn't work. Google said, I'm going to penalize you. Your site's going to be deranked, devalued, if you don't go mobile. The version of mobile, how you have to code a website to be mobile, has changed as well. It went from mobile dot, so you saw m.website.com. Then you had HTML5, and then it turned into responsive coding, which basically a website will reshape itself, maintain aspect ratio, so it stays big. It just reformulates the site to make it longer, but you can still read everything. Make sense? How many of you know for a fact your website's mobile compliant? Okay? It's important to check. Very important to check. 2 years ago, I stood on stage and I was like, okay, things are changing. We need to be prepared for these wearable devices, because the way people search on a watch is very different. They talk to it. That's increased as of the last year and a half. In fact, this Christmas, we have these two little devices that were the two hottest sellers on Amazon. What are they? What is it? I love you. Amazon Echo, and her name is Alexa. I love her. I love her. I miss her when I travel dearly. What's the other one? What's this one? Google Home. Absolutely. Google's version came out. They're competing. What can Alexa and Google Home do? What can you tell it to do? Everything. Find you a contractor, find you a repairman, order your pizza, turn on your lights, turn up the heat, turn down the heat, close the garage door, lock the front door, play my favorite hits, my music. Tell me a joke, Alexa. Now, if I had her here, she would tell me a joke. I'm starting to memorize them. That's what puts me to sleep at night. She does my son's homework for him. She teaches the other one Spanish. She does everything. When someone searches and they're talking to a device, do you think the language is different than when they go to a computer and they type something in? Does it sound different? Is it a different set of words? It's conversational. It's totally a different set of words. So someone will say, Alexa, find me the best heating and air conditioning company in, where am I at? What state am I in? Cleveland? Am I in Ohio? I've been to a few states in the last few months. Okay, in Cleveland, Ohio, with the best ratings and reviews. They're going to have a conversation with this thing because it's a being. It talks back. Whereas if they're on the internet and they go put in a search, they're going to type in AC repair, Cleveland, Ohio. AC installation, Cleveland, Ohio. AC maintenance, Cleveland, Ohio. AC tune-up, Cleveland, Ohio. Furnace tune-up, Cleveland, Ohio. They're going to type in small, short, 6 primary on your air conditioning, 6 primary on your heating side, variations of those. And depending on if it's an emergency or if they've got time, an inspector said, oh, you just bought this house, the air conditioning system is garbage, you need to replace it, I'm not going to flag it on the inspection. They have time. So they do different kind of research. What kind of things would someone who has time be researching? Not AC installation or AC replacement. What are they going to research? Yeah, how much does it cost? What's the difference? What's the best? Which brand? What to avoid? What to look for? What questions to ask? How much does it cost? And so forth. So, that being said, I want you to think about, so forget about that. I'm giving you the answer before I ask you the question. So, I want you to think about this next question as if you are just dad, mom, husband, wife, homeowner. How many of you are one of those? Got everybody? All right. In the last 12 months, you were not an existing customer of this product or service. How many of you have made a purchase because of television ad, radio, newspaper, door hanger, flyer, cold call, mailer? Any purchases in 12 months? What'd you buy? A brand new truck. Fantastic. What'd you buy? A chainsaw. Right on. Anyone else? Is that it in the last 12 months? Okay, flip gears. Let's go back to being a business owner. Are you okay with that math? Are you okay with that math? 2 people, 12 months, 2 purchases from any traditional advertising. Does that sit well? How many of us have invested in any of those marketing vehicles? You can just go like this. Okay, thank you. Appreciate your honesty. I already know, I know. Because as business owners, that's what we do. We watch, we look and see what other people are doing, and we see a competitor and they're doing it. Oh, it must work, gotta try it. Here's the reality. I own a digital marketing agency, but previously I was VP of Global Logistics and Supply Chain for multiple retailers. I don't care what marketing people say. I don't like their fancy charts and graphs and all that crap, excuse me, because real people tell me every day how they buy, how they shop, how they make their buying decisions. This is what I know. In the last 12 months, how many of you have made a purchase because you went online, did some research, and you wound up calling, buying a product or service? Raise your hand and look around. Raise your hand, look around. You gotta look around because this is your math. I'm giving you data instead of some fancy chart, okay? How many of you in the last 12 months have made more than one purchase from doing that same thing? Look around. Okay, how many of you have made a purchase because you asked for a referral, got a referral to a contractor, product, service, company, and you wind up doing business with them? Raise your hand, look around, from a referral. Okay, those of you that got a referral and wound up working with them, how many of you Googled them first? Perfect. These numbers have changed. This is just the reality check we all need to just absorb because we want to do something fancy when it comes to marketing. But it really boils down to just how people, you as mom, dad, homeowner, how we work every day, how we live our lives, how we research, how we make our buying decisions, how we feel comfortable, how we have trust built into that decision. People buy two ways. A, online. B, a referral. But 99.9% of them are going to look and do their research online before they make the buying decision. If there are no reviews, not enough reviews, or negative reviews, they just don't call, even if it's a referral. As a business owner, can we quantify the number of referrals that we got but never called? It's kind of impossible. So that's a blind spot. That's us not knowing how much business we're losing. That's our most valuable business there is. Referral business, that's gold, right? Because they already know you, they know your products, they know your services, they love you. But the number of stories I hear right now when they got a referral from someone they trusted, their mother, their friend, their best friend's been in heating and air conditioning for years and years, recommended a dealer. And when it came down to it and they asked, did you wind up going with my referral? They're like, they were good, there was nothing wrong, but I just found companies with better and more reviews that looked more professional. That's it. So, to me, I'm kind of pragmatic. I like just logical, simple, pragmatic decisions. I want to focus on what I know works, even if it's hard, even if it takes some time, because I would personally like to be in business 1,000 days from now. Any of you have kids? Yeah? Anyone have someone's 4 and under? Kids, grandkids, nephews, nieces? You give them an iPhone, does it make you feel confident or comfortable? Or intelligent? How do they make you feel? For me, it's rather slow. And I'm good at this stuff, right? Teenagers. They're going into their teenage years, whether we like them or not as parents, with larger databases and more influence and the ability to reach more people than those of us who have been in business for 10 years or longer. We have 1,000 days until those individuals are either going to be our client, an influencer of our client, our competition, our employee, or God forbid, our employer, right? That's real. Do teenagers use Facebook? No. Why? Facebook's for what? Old people, right? You know? Emails for dead people. These kids literally in 30 days decided, were they on Facebook for a minute? Until all the parents got on. And in a 30-day time frame, they decided this is no longer a good communication vehicle. We're moving. And you know what? Whatever I write, it's deleted in 3 seconds. Good luck, Mom. Welcome to Snapchat. All right? That's real, though. We're all in this for the long haul. How many of you have an exit strategy? You know where you want to go. The end looks like something. You've got that plan. Kind of? Okay, that's all right. We'll go backwards. Why did you start the business in the first place? What were your 3 motivating factors? You want more what? Name them. Money. Perfect. Next. Security. Good. All right, next. Freedom. Always. Next. There's only one more. Perfect. That's your list. Every entrepreneur's dream, right? They're all the same. It doesn't matter what audience I'm at or where I am in the country. They're all the same. Does anyone feel like they have more time, money, freedom, security, or, right? You know? So that's okay. It's doable. But as business owners, we have to face things that are a little bit scary and uncomfortable. We have to figure out how do we leverage systems and technology to convert time to cash, to create more freedoms, to reduce duplicate processes, inefficiencies, redundancies in our business, to replace the need for human capital for every single task we do. Little things. I have a dealer who sells maintenance programs. He's really good at it. He's really good at it. He's got 1,000+ maintenance contracts, all for $13.95 a month. One small change, just because we were in their office doing some filming, and I overheard his office admin. She was like, "Do you want me to send out all the invoices for this month's maintenance thing?" I was like, "Ah, huh? Why don't you just charge your credit card automatically? Why don't you set it up once?" I don't know, that sounds hard. I was like, I promise you it's not harder than running 1,000 credit cards every single month and trying to collect on that. I promise you it's easier. You put it in once, the system notifies you 2 years later when it's about to expire, boom, done. We all pay for all our services that way, right? Your cell phone, they don't bill you every month. Take it out of your check. Take it right out of your bank account. Your water delivery, your pest control. Is residual income important for you guys? Way to change your model. I used to stand on stage, and I feel bad for it. I used to stand up and I would act like a know-it-all, and I'd be like, it doesn't matter what product or service or anything. Digital marketing is the same for every company. And then till I met you, you're different. You have this natural, you have God, right? You have a complete change in your business model for 6 months, 4 months, or 4, 4, and 4, 4. Every single year, you sell a new set of products and services with a new set of search phrases, a new set of issues. Allergy season, that's different. Spring and fall, totally different. Maintenance agreements, allergy agreements, indoor air quality, tune-ups, getting ready for summer. Same thing in fall, right? You guys have a different model. So, in this environment, in the digital space, things are changing so rapidly. What I didn't point out on that last slide, this one, this is how we feel like change is occurring. But if we look at technology over time and how it's changing how people communicate, work, make decisions, this is where we're sitting right now compared to over time. It's fast. I mean, it's really fast. In the digital space, if we keep doing the same results, or if we keep doing the same thing, do you think we can go with the cliche that we get the same results? It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Our mind needs to work like this. Every time we're having a strategy session and we're revamping our marketing plan, your questions are, what am I doing that's working? Do more of it. What am I doing that's not working? Stop. Reallocate it to something that is cut off the bleeding. What am I not doing yet that I should be? That list is long. Prioritize one thing at a time. Keep adding, keep adding, keep adding, keep plugging, keep putting it in there. This is a machine. Your business is a machine. We have to keep building every module, every piece. We have to keep adding on to it until this thing just runs. And that's beautiful because I promise I trust the machine a heck of a lot more than I do people. Right? So, this is the 12-step roadmap to achieve accelerated results. It starts with how you think. That's usually the biggest holdup. What do you think the number one excuse is that comes out of people's mouth when it comes to why they haven't implemented certain things they know they should? I don't have enough, survey says. Time. For the mere fact that we say it, it means we need it more. You know what I mean? The mere fact that that's the excuse, it's also the reason. I don't have enough time because I don't have the right systems and infrastructure set up. I don't have the right automation tools in place. I don't have the right data. I don't have the right tracking. It takes too long to find information that I need. Too many missed opportunities. Too many things that should be easy, that are hard or unavailable because I didn't set up the systems right. Mindset is first. It's also, do you have a positive and proactive mindset, or are you a naysayer? Promise you I can take 2 dealers, exact same street, same product, same price, same everything. One, the world is crashing because of economics and whatever the excuse is for that week. And the other one is rocking and rolling and pinpointing what's working. Let's do more of this. Let's do more of this. They're making progress. They're making money. Same results, just a different outlook on it. Strategy. That is lacking in the contractor industry and technically in all small businesses. There is not enough strategy. It's too much of a hodgepodge of throw it up against the wall and see if it sticks. And you guys are stuck. You guys are in a tough position because you have the largest targets on your back I think I've ever seen for the biggest scam artists out there. Does Google call you? Right. Google will never call you. Those are scams. Do you get emails in your inbox saying your website is broken and this and this and this and we can fix it, and there's not even a company name at the bottom? Like, could they be smarter than that? Those are bots. That's a scam. Do you get calls from companies that say, this is a magic pill, this is going to make your phone ring off the hook, all you have to do is sign for this package, costs $300 a month, and blah, 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 and that's your miracle pill? Right, $300 a month is going to make you position number 1 on Google where people convert compared to every other company that's in the same spot. Tomorrow. I have videos of me listening to these calls where people will say, I saved position number 1 for you. I'm like, oh, really? Hang on, let me hit record. And I have those videos all over YouTube if you'd like to go. They're entertaining. And I get calls saying, please take them down. We have to have more strategy behind what we do. Challenges. Also, you guys get hit from salespeople who have never launched, ran, or built a business in their life. And they have no clue what all these nerds do behind the scenes for the products and services they're selling. They don't know. They're just selling whatever they've been trained on. So we need to have more clarity. We need to know where we want to go, and the only way we can get there is if we know exactly where we are. All too often, there's not enough review of reporting and information and data. We're not keeping track of our own companies, how they look online. Is the information accurate? Is the data correct? Are my addresses right? Are my phone numbers right? There's a huge piece of marketing that's just a must-do. It's called local listings. There's 70 top local listing sites. I would say 9 times out of 10, 80% of them are wrong. Wrong addresses, wrong phone numbers, misspellings of companies. In fact, I would say half of them have a phone number that's from a competitor with your company, your address, their phone number, and they're happily answering your calls, and you would never know because we don't run the reports. They're not monitored. That is an easy marketing tactic, especially for the 3rd and 4th generations that are starting to get into HVAC, that know how to do this. Scammers. So, clarity. We got to have visibility to what's going on. It's as important as activity, the information. Planning, positioning, technology, network. I'll leave the rest. We need to get over here. We have basic things we need to cover first. Everything about success is doing the right things in the right order at the right time. In HVAC and contractor, the challenge is you guys get taken advantage of so many times, you wind up starting over like Groundhog's Day, over and over and over. New website, they screw it up. New website, they screw it up every single time. You know, if you have a website today that actually is ranking on page 1, how long do you think that website lasts as far as technology goes to be in compliance with Google and latest technology devices? How long? 30 days? That's real. I would give it you could get away with it for about 18 to 24 months. Get away with it. Not in compliance, not there. The industry in my world, they're moving away from one-time website projects and they're moving to something called growth-driven designs, which means you have a budget and your website is constantly changing. It's altering, the code is altering, they're constantly, every time Google comes out with a new requirement, they're making updates and upgrades and changing. Let's at least get to the point where you have a website, it's compliant today, and it's refreshed every 2 years. Minimum, make that commitment. That's a good first step. A good first step. Marketing. We have to do the right things in the right order at the right time. It can't be hodgepodge. I'll give you an example. And I do consulting with thousands and thousands of dealers. If you go spend, which I've seen, I'll only tell you real stories, $2,500 a month on SEO, and you have a website that's out of compliance with Google, is that a good investment? If you go spend $2,000 on a pay-per-click ad or pay-per-click on your monthly budget, and you drive people to a website that looks like you hired your kids, is that a good investment? Think about how you buy. Are consumers comfortable with hiring contractors? They're as comfortable with hiring you as you are in hiring me. Because I don't know as a consumer what you do. It's way out of my scope. I have no clue if I'm being taken advantage of. And same thing with you hiring a digital marketing company. It's stressful. So we have to make sure that it looks really good for consumers to take action. The great part about the internet, you can level the playing field if you do it right. Whether you have 2 trucks or 200, you can look the same. Consumer will never know. Never know. Write things in the right order. Let's say you have a gorgeous website. You're on page 1 of Google for 150 different phrases. Somebody's looking, boom, you're an option, you're an option, you're an option, you're an option. But when they go type in your company name with the word reviews, you got 1 star on Yelp, you got 1 star on Better Business Bureau. Your Google business listing over here has nothing, no stars. Did you win the business? They're out. These are all exit doors. So every time we neglect something that's just got to get done, it's just basic, we got to get it done. If we neglect it, we create an exit door, consumer is out. You go spend money on print, they go to your site, they do some research, they look, there's no reviews, exit door, they're out. We just have to get infrastructure in place. And actually, you guys, this is not hard. I promise you, it's not hard. It's actually not expensive either. You can scale into it. It takes a minute, but you can scale into it. This is the process. Almost in order, but I will tell you, whoever you listen to, any consultant, anyone who's standing on stage telling you what you should do, no one can tell you what you should do in your business without proper research, information, and data. Where are you? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What are your opportunities? What are your threats? And ultimately, where do you see this business in 3 years, 5 years, and what's your exit? Because I promise you, the plan for someone who wants to sail off into the sunset is totally different than somebody who wants to hand the business over to their kids. Totally different. What people buy and improves your overall valuation is different than building the infrastructure so your kids can carry on with your legacy. So we have to have information. You got to be careful, listen to people like me, because we have some communication, some dialogue to do in order for me to even be able to provide good advice. Now, in order, website, content. Website, you got to, that's your home base. You got to own it. Don't buy a website that's from any of the F's. Tell me one F you should not do when it comes to your website. I'll say friends. What else? What was it? Family, perfect. What else? Free. Fools. Fake. Templates. Right? Someone else owns it. Marketing agency says, it's only $10 a month. We do this all the time. Yeah, it's the same website, repeated 8,000 times with the exact same content. You immediately are blocked from Google for duplicate content, and your URL is hurt, which you own that, hopefully. Don't ever let a web company buy your URL. Don't ever let a web company set up your Google account. You set it up. You own it. That's your baby as a business owner to own your logins and passwords to everything. Even if you think they're helping you and they make it sound good, you have to own it as a business owner. Because I promise you, the second you realize what they're selling doesn't work and you try and leave, what are you stuck trying to do? Anybody been in that position? Get ownership of a domain name? It's in someone else's name? Find your login and password to your Google business listing account, which is also your Google Analytics and your Google AdWords and your Google Plus account. Everything is under one login. That's hard. So, content. Content is your voice. It's your ability to sell. You stop talking, you stop selling. If a website is pretty but empty, nothing. That's like me standing up here and just blinking for an hour. Doesn't go real well, right? You saw that. So, here's the cool part. How many of you have woke up and said, God, if I could just duplicate myself, if there were more of me? Anybody said that? What is that video camera doing for me right now? What's it doing? It's duplicating me. It's making a copy. That copy will get loaded into YouTube. That copy will get diced into probably 10-minute segments, maybe 50 10-minute segments. They'll each get labeled differently. They'll get put on a website with a little excerpt of content. They'll get automatically posted out to my social media networks. And over the next 3 years, what will happen to the number of views? They go up. So before we get into the marketing piece, you have the infrastructure and you have the engine. Marketing, every dollar you spend. You have two kinds of investments. One is technically not an investment, but you have simple interest, which is churn and burning cash, and you have compound interest, which is investing in something today that has more value and more weight a year from now, and a year from now, and a year from now. Let me give you some examples. If I invest in a television show or television commercial and I stop spending, is it burn and churn or long-term compounding? Burn and churn, it's gone. If I invest in a print campaign, send it out to everybody in my mailer, and I stop investing in that print campaign, what happens? Burn and churn? Absolutely. If I digitize this event, my 1 hour here today, slice it into 50 different, or whatever, 5, 10, 15 different segments, upload it to YouTube, put it on autopilot, is it burn and churn, or is my hour today still worth more money 2 years from now? It's working for me. Did I replicate myself? Do you think I'm the best person at selling what we do? I should have more of me, right? That's the great part about content. You guys have to get over, if you have this issue, I'm not saying everybody does, being self-conscious about being on video, being interviewed. Because I promise you, if I sat down with you and I asked you a question and it's regarding what you do best, or I showed you the situation I just dealt with in our house, you wouldn't stop talking, right? You would let me have it. You would be talking about everything they did right, everything they did wrong, and why would they do this, and this is crazy, and this is why, and this is, you would give me this whole dissertation, right? You think customers would trust you more if they saw that knowledge without having to call you to get it? We have to get you to a position where you're selling while you're sleeping, where that content is doing the work while you do something else, where it's educating consumers, it's making them feel comfortable, it's asking questions. You know, our company, I would say 90% of our entire business is HVAC. It was on accident from a speaking event like 10 years ago. And I thought I knew this really good until I got a proposal for replacing our furnaces and our ductwork. And they gave me 3 options. And I looked at it and was like, what the heck is the difference? Just pick the most expensive one. Like, that's me. And then I finally called some of our contractors and like, no, Dan, you guys are in Washington. You don't need this. You need variable speed. And this is why, blah, 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 and the weather. And they went through the whole thing. I'm like, oh my God, why didn't I hit record? You're making me crazy. This should be on tape, right? You guys have so much knowledge and information that would help consumers make better decisions. We just need to make it an option for them to find. That's content. Google is a giant filing system. Okay, how many of you have seen Bruce Almighty? Remember that movie? Okay. So basically, God's standing in this warehouse, and this guy comes in, and he said, anything you've ever thought, anything you've ever done, anything you've ever said is in this drawer. That is Google. If I say AC repair, Cleveland, right? Oh, there's E. Oh, and you guys have. Oops. Let me just see what happens here with Texas. Did it get me? Is this right? Okay, good. I was curious because there's Texas too, if that would come up different. This is the file drawer that just came up when I searched for AC Repair Cleveland. There are 765,000 pages in this drawer. Organic pages. You have 3 opportunities to make money on this page if you have a physical office in Cleveland verified by Google. 1, pay-per-click ads. Pay-per-click, burn and churn, long-term compounding investment. Burn and churn. Has a tiny impact that is long-term only because if you are working on organic search engine optimization, Google plays favorites to those investing in ads. So there is a little bit of value outside of burn and churn that's slightly better. Now, if I have to choose between 2 burn and churns, If I buy a list, do a mailer, send it out to 10,000 households with the perfect criteria, do I pay for it whether they look at it or not? Pay-per-click, if I say my budget's $1,000, do I only pay for it if they click on it? So there's still degrees of investment, even within burn and churn, if we decide to go that route. All right, now, everything with an ad, that's pay-per-click. They didn't earn this spot. They have a budget with Google. Minimum usually is about $20, $50 a day, and that doesn't do a lot. So your average cost every time somebody clicks on this, it can be $2, it can be $8, it can be $30. Just depends on the competition. This, what's this? That's it's a map. Okay. All right, so this section is called Google Business Listing. It's free for now. If I go Google my business, it's going to come up with this little link, Google for Business, sign up for Google My Business. This is free. Easiest, least expensive way to market, only in the city you have a physical office, right out of the gate, no brainer. It's also the #1, outside of your own website, place you need to have reviews. Let's just do that. So if somebody is looking for your company, remember, we'll go back to you got a referral from an existing client, they Googled your company first. Somebody went online, they found your company, they Googled your company next, right? Those are the two processes that take place every time. They're going to go look at this. They're not looking at Yelp, not looking at Better. Now, if Yelp's bad, it's a consideration. If Better Business Bureau is bad, 1 star, that's a consideration. The first thing they're looking at is this right here. How many reviews do you have on Google Business Listing? It's this giant map. It's also the only thing that Siri, Alexa, and Google Home use to provide recommendations for searches in local areas. Very important, very free, very important, okay? So, in order to get listed here, A, you have to have a business, again, with a verified business in that area, in that address. B, you have to have a perfectly set up and configured listing. It's got to be in the right categories, has to have about us, has to have your operating hours, or it needs to say open 24 hours. Little things can make or break this. Are the majority of consumers completely swamped during business hours? If I put on here that I close at 5 p.m. or 6 p.m., even if you don't provide emergency service, did you immediately lose everybody who happens to take care of their own list of things at 2 in the morning, 11 at night, or when their kids finally stop talking? We lose them. So there's little things in our head we don't think about, so we'll put our hours on there and boom, not know how much business is out the door because they're looking for someone that does 24 hours, when in fact, they don't need you to come tonight. They just need to be able to book the appointment tonight because they can't call you because they're busy tomorrow. And you guys are identical because I know how you are in the middle of your summer. We don't exist. We have to stalk our dealers in order to get them to give us approval for content or approval for a promotion or something we want to do on their social accounts. It's hard to reach you guys in the middle of summer, right? Okay, so you have to have the most reviews, the most frequent reviews, and the best reviews, and the most updated images on your portfolio. So if you have graphics being designed for your social media, uploading those graphics into your Google Business Listing gives you a better opportunity of showing up top. If you're up top, you have a high probability of generating new leads and opportunities with the least expense, just a little bit of labor. And you don't have to do that. You can get that off your plate. Okay, this section right here, this is organic listings only covered by content, on-page optimization, and off-page optimization. There's a whole other class for that. However, this is those 765,000 pages. If I change this, I'm going to get a new number every time I switch this. Wi-Fi slow. This has 593,000. If I change this, you guys give me a town that's outside of Cleveland you'd want to market to. Spell it. Akrom. N. Got you. 660 changes to service. 611 changes to replacement. 357. For us, takes us 30 days per 100,000 pages to get someone on page 1 of Google. Now, back to your website. Awesome, we found one. What is different about one listing on this? What do they have? The what? Yes, that is called Google Schema. Brand new. That is a process of developing your website based on today's requirements, or I shouldn't say requirements, it's not a requirement. Recommendations. So if I pull up I'm going to pull up one of my client's sites. This is how we have to think. This website, we designed it, we went live with it, I would say probably 5 months ago. Google came out and said, boom, we're making Google Schema available for HVAC businesses. This site just went live. Last thing he wants to do is us to call and be like, we need to redo your site. This is the importance of it. Look what we have the ability to do. He has 560 some pages on his website that all have a cumulative rating of all of his reviews from everywhere that we are able to manually post on every single page and make them visible. So now if he's on page 1 of Google, which for 300,000 pages we can do in 90 days, anywhere he shows up on there, does he stand out? The dealers who take advantage of this now are going to kick the tails from those who don't. And it's not going to last long, because every time somebody figures it out, it's only going to be a matter of a couple of years before the developers start figuring it out, HVAC companies start figuring it out, and so forth, right? So you have a huge opportunity. There'll be another opportunity later, but this one's a big one right now. Websites cannot stay static. Have to keep thinking about how to redevelop them. So show you a couple samples of sites, just so you can get an idea of what it should be there. When I land on a website, I need to know who you are, what you do. Notice how clean it is. Remember, 6 months of the year, it's a totally different business model than another 6 months. The last thing you want to do is create a page that says services and intermix heating and air conditioning under the same list directory. You lose a client, their brain just shuts down. Air conditioning, commercial, air duct work, maintenance. Apply for financing, sign up for maintenance. Service areas. Remember, if Google's a filing system, I need 1 page of content for all of the searches that a consumer would do, which include AC repair, AC service, AC installation, AC replacement, AC maintenance, AC tune-up, air conditioner repair, air conditioner replacement, air conditioner installation, air conditioner maintenance, air conditioner tune-up, furnace, heater. Just because you call it a furnace doesn't mean someone that moved here did. I wouldn't call it a furnace. I'd call it a heater because I'm from the West Coast. Make sense? They use different language. Google is deaf and blind. It's not going to read your mind. It only reads Braille. So there's no content it can crawl on the page, or too much code, it can't get through the content, or not enough content, you're out. It's an exit. The other thing a consumer is going to look for, location. If you don't have pages on your site for the cities you service, not zip codes, not counties, cities, people look by city, okay? If there is no individual content for those cities, how is Google going to know where to place you, especially when half of the companies are all called the same thing? How many 1 hours? How many Arctic cools? How many polar, right? I mean, everything, heating and cooling, something. Certified heating and cooling, residential heating and cooling. I mean, I could go through, they're all the same. It confuses the heck out of us. I got 19 crystal heating and cooling things. I don't know who's who, except somebody does water. I got to remember them by logo. So Google doesn't know. You have to have those pages on. They're very important. So other things that are very important. Home, about, reviews, not testimonials. Why would I not want to put testimonials on there? If somebody's searching and they're validating your company, are they going to go put in there ABC Heating and Cooling testimonials? They're going to put in the word reviews. Little things like that, huge difference. Resources, blog, FAQ, SARE calculator. Meet our family, the ability to hire, the ability to recruit. That's important. You should have a "we're hiring" sign on your website all day, every day, all the time, and constantly be collecting new resumes. Because as you grow, you don't want to wait until you need the staff in order to start finding the search. That's a problem. That needs to be part of your business model from day one. All right, within here, little things. Who we are, what we do, where we do it, how to reach you, how to reach you, how to reach you, how to reach you, what other people think about you, and can you leave a review? Are you trustworthy? Social, search, local, reviews. Do other people like you? Very important. So, in addition to that, we need to eliminate getting negative reviews for just junk calls. Somebody calls in, person doesn't qualify them enough, you guys go out and do a service call, you change battery and thermostat, send them a bill, what do you get? Bad review. You go flip a breaker, send them a bill, what do you get? Bad review. All right, so cut it out. Little things. So if the air conditioning system isn't working, let them go figure out they need to put a battery in it, right? Or they need to flip a switch. Let them figure out the basic stuff. If they come to your site and they're able to resolve an issue, which we see all the time, someone will immediately schedule an appointment with one of our clients, they'll go use a troubleshooter, and they're like, oh, breaker. And then they'll send a message back and go, I used your troubleshooter, I was able to figure it out, it's just my breaker, thanks so much. And then they'll say, the oddest thing, I bookmarked your site. That's hard to do, to get a regular person to bookmark a heating and air conditioning site, I'm telling you. It's not the coolest website you want to go read on the weekends, right? But they're doing it. They're doing it. Okay, little things. Blocks of content. Remember, people read headlines. Google needs lots of content. People like pictures and headlines. That's why they're on Twitter and Facebook. Okay? So we have to contain our information. Who do we serve? What do we do? Where do we do it? What do other people think? All in the same area. We need to make it very, very clean. Also, it doesn't need to be filled with equipment pictures. What's a landmark in your city? What are people used to? How are you going to make them feel at home? How are you going to make it entertaining? Is there a promotion? And so forth. So you'll notice here, same thing. Perfect. Very clean, very clear. If you want to sell it, you got to have content for it. It has to be written for Google and for humans. So that just has to happen. Little things. If somebody opens that or taps your number, better call. Have you guys ever done a search from your phone, tap that number, nothing happens? You're out, right? That's another exit. Tiny things. Schedule service, get an estimate. There is a difference between an existing customer who wants to schedule service, they need a home too, versus a new prospect who wants to get an online estimate or a quote. We're testing a program right now. We just built an online. So I'm going to show you this one real quick. We just built an online estimator. Doesn't give them a price. It just gives them good, better, or best, and it tells them why they can't get a price for an air conditioning system on the internet. So it educates them too. But the good part is, because they see a little button that says online estimate, they fill it out, because what do they think they're going to get at the end? They think they're going to get a price. Ain't going to happen, but you're going to tell me how many square feet you have, how many rooms you have, where is your system at, when was the last time, when did you buy your house, what are your main issues, what's most important to you. You're going to get all this data, so when you call them, you can have an educated conversation and go straight for the gusto, right? I almost said juggler, but that's me. So, little things, right? The ability to tell them, what's the efficiency rating? The efficiency rating on the system, it matters. It's going to affect your budget. Also, we have great promotions. Goodman has incredible offers and discounts and rebates and other things that we can throw in there. And oh, by the way, I have these incredible financing options. We can make this work. You need it, right? It doesn't have to be red, white, and blue. It doesn't have to look traditional. Make it unique, be different, have something. I don't care if it's a dog, a baby, a pet, an apple, something clean, right? Make it different and make sure it's personal. People are humans. They want to know how much you care before they know how much you know. They want to know that they can feel comfortable. It's a relationship, so we have to be a little bit more personal, less technical. They don't understand all this stuff, right? That's foreign to them. They just want to know, are my toes going to be freezing still? Is my nose going to be cold in my room? Is my husband's allergies going to be going crazy? Does sleep apnea, he snores all night long. They just want to know, you're going to fix my problems. Is this helpful? Is it helpful? Okay. So I only have 19 other slides and I only got through 3. However, hopefully we focused on what matters most. And first, it's your brand, it's your content, it's how you think, it's making sure you have the right infrastructure in place. Do we need to get to all these other things? Yeah, not yet. It's one thing at a time, okay? One thing at a time. You guys are getting ready for summer. Things are about to change. A couple warnings. It's not about finding somebody that's down the street, okay? It's not about finding someone local. I promise you, they need to have more experience. They need to know what's coming. If I go look, because we do business around the entire United States and abroad, we have the ability to see what's coming because I have clients in Sacramento. I have clients in California. What I do know, Google Maps is not going to be free forever because they're already testing in Sacramento. These are sponsored pay-per-click ads. The leads cost $40 a pop. Everyone that was counting on Google business listings to drive all their business in the door, gone within 12 minutes. That phone stopped ringing. That funnel cut off. You need experts that are in the industry and know your business, know digital, know search, know social, know your consumers. And you guys, every day that you wait, there's a bigger and bigger list of pages in that drawer, and other people have more content and all this other stuff. So bite the bullet, roll through it. Everything that's on oh, speaking of which, fill these papers out. All of you have these little half sheets of paper. Fill that out as if your mother was going to check your penmanship. Okay, and we will provide you with about $2,000 in free reports. Everything you need to know, your website, your local listings, your social, your search, how your content, how your website is structured. We will give you an overview of where you are. If you have an interest in getting some feedback and advice and some strategic input on how you get to where you want to go, we'll also do that for you. It's a completely complimentary strategy session. Highly recommend you sign up. Obviously, we love education more than anything. And if we can help, great. If you take it back to your existing company and you let them have it, great. Let me know how it goes. All right. Other than that, thank you. Appreciate it. Hope this helps. Okay.
Thanks, Jennifer.
Thank
If
you.
want to fill those out, Jennifer and her team will be right outside, right?
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. All right, we're in the last few minutes here. The last 2 parts we're going to do. Now would be the time to get your raffle ticket out. Definitely want to have that. Remember the last one called today, raffle ticket wise. The last thing out. So other prizes we would raffle off will be gift cards. So we got gift cards to be raffling.
And there's